breaking down how non-Muslims are treated in a Sharia-compliant Islamic nation. It's necessary to impose humiliating laws for non-Muslims in Britain and convert them. That's the goal. You take over and you impose humiliating laws on the non-Muslims. And this is what actually over time converts them, or at least their children or their grandchildren.
Is there such a thing in Islam?
No.
Is there equality of faith? Don't greet the Jews and the Christians before they greet you. And when you meet any of them on the roads, force them to go on the narrow side of it.
Someone's walking down the road and you're like, whoa, get, you need to get on the crap side of the road there, man. You need to get up against the wall. Get up against the wall. Don't be walking down the middle of the road.
And Muslim, they're not allowed to wear the same clothes as one another. If the Muslim, he comes out on the day of Eid and he sees Kafir with nice clothes, the Kafir has to take his clothes off and give it to the Muslims. The Kafir, when he walks inside the street, he has to wear a red belt around his neck, and he has to have his forehead shaved, and he has to wear two shoes which are different from one another. He's not allowed to, and he's not allowed to walk on the pavement. He has to walk on. He has to walk in the middle of the road, and he has to ride on a mule. And that's only for the adults, not for the children. And you can see how Islam would make the child become a Muslim. The kafir, or the child growing up in a state of kufr, he will turn to Islam. Why? Because the child will be walking along with his dad. He said, "Dad, yeah, why you got your forehead shaved?" "I don't know whether these Muslims, they make me do it." Why you got to walk? Why can't you ride the animal? Like the Muslims, they ride the animal like this. Why are you walking with both legs dangling on the side of the donkey?
You hear the people laughing?
Very funny. Very funny.
This is how we treat them.
See how funny that is.
This is how we treat them. These are British Muslims, guys. These are British Muslims.
Let's do that to Muslims in the West.
This is how we're going to treat them.
See if they find that funny.
Why is it every time the Muslim comes to you, he asks you for your clothes, you give it? Why is it every time he tells you to get down from the horse, you have to take it? And not only that, he said the kuffar, they can have their churches. They can have their churches, but they're not allowed to ring the bell. And if a Muslim, he's walking by, let's say, for example, a Muslim's been on Edgware Road, for example. He's had some nice shisha, some nice steak, no hubble bubble, we don't deal with anything like that. And he's walking along and he's rubbing his belly and he's like, "Oh man, I don't want to upset my wife tonight." What you can do, you can go to the church, knock on the door, "John, let me in." "Okay, no problem." John has to put up Abdul Ghafoor for the night. Abdul Ghafoor with his big belly, having his nice kebab. John has to open up the church and he has to go there and sleep there nice and comfortable and say, "All right, John, thank you," and then carry on going.
You hear these guys laughing still? They think this is great. Yeah, guys, these are the guys you invited in, right? These are the guys that you, British people, in your wonderful display of tolerance said, these guys think exactly like we do. All people think exactly the same. And these people are asking for help and refuge, and we should take them in. And you take them in, and they're sitting there laughing about how stupid and gullible you are, and plotting to take over and treat you like this. And they laugh at that. This is amusing to them, like the thought of how incompetent and pathetic you are, that you're going to fall for this, is amusing to them. You are endearingly stupid. All your leaders are endearingly stupid to these guys. They think you're hilarious with how stupid and gullible you are. And it's just amazing because here's the thing, anyone with the ability to read words off a page could look at the Muslim sources and say, this is what Islam aims at. But when we did that for years, quoted the Muslim sources to you saying, hey, if these guys take over, this is what they're going to do. And you said, racist, liars, Islamophobe, bigots, liars, Islamophobe. You've got the guys saying it, openly saying it, and you still won't believe them. And we're still racist and bigots if we say this is what you're up against. Guys are lunatics. I hate to say, average people in Great Britain who don't want this, you don't deserve it. All your leaders and so on, they deserve what they're getting. They deserve what's coming to them. Sucks, but they deserve it. They basically begged for it.
Early in the morning. Which wife is going to live with John under that type of circumstances? What kind of honoring is this for me to live with John and Abdul Ghafoor comes every Friday night and sleeps in our bed as well? Of course. Because sunnah is to look after the guest, innit? I can't make you sleep on my floor if you can't. You're a Muslim, by the way. So what about when Abdul Ghaffur goes to John's house? John, sleep on the floor.
Abdul
and I'll
Ghaffur
sleep,
should go
I'll
back
sleep,
where he came
I'll
from,
sleep.
man.
What's that?
Abdul Ghaffur should go back where he came from. Abdul Ghaffur obviously doesn't belong in John's country. Abdul Ghaffur should go back, should get the heck out of here, should go and live somewhere else where people handle things the way they handle it, because obviously Abdul Ghaffur is not civilized enough to live in a civilized society which built things without him. Because Abdul Ghaffur came to a country that was built by civilized human beings who are actually intelligent people who can be called human beings because they are intelligent and they're different from animals. Apparently, Abdul Ghaffur is not very different from lower intelligence animals that don't have the intelligence that qualifies them to become humans. So Abdul Ghaffur should go back and should get the heck out of here. The funny thing is that we joke about this, we make fun of this. But as we make fun of this, as we joke about this, as we expose this, this is becoming the reality. These people are openly speaking about it and openly playing with the thought of humiliating the disbelievers. And this guy is not just explaining something that is completely unfamiliar to Islamic history. This is very, very well known in Islamic history. This is well known in Islamic scholarship. It is well known in Islam that specifically in chapter 9, verse 29 of the Quran, one of the most important verses of the Quran, in chapter 9, verse 29, when it commands Muslims to fight the disbelievers, to fight those who don't believe in Allah, and fight those who don't believe in Muhammad, and fight those who don't accept the religion of truth, meaning Islam, among the Jews and Christians, to fight them and to humiliate them and to make them pay the jizya. In the history of Islam, this has been interpreted along with hadiths by Muhammad, along with the scholars, with the Islamic scholars, that the entire purpose is that you would normally convert these people to Islam, but you are not technically to forcibly make people say, I hereby convert to Islam. You are, however, to humiliate them by imposing humiliating conditions upon the disbelievers, and thereby basically coercing them to convert to Islam, because nobody wants to live in humiliation.